I appreciate the patience. It wasn't Twitch's fault. It wasn't Twitch's fault. It was StreamerBot. StreamerBot had decided to log me out of my account. That's what happened. So we figured it out. All is well. It was not my fault. I didn't do it. I'm itchy, but I can't itch my face. I also don't know. Are you guys able to hear the alerts? Didn't hear him. Okay. Let me do a double check. Lily, you did hear it. Okay. Interesting. Well, here, let me do a quick little test. Make sure all is well. Because I saw it. I sensed it, but I didn't hear it. So unless OBS is also doing things, which actually, I mean, I should probably check that first. That might be my first culprit. I felt like this music was appropriate. I don't know. It seemed right at the time. We're just going to go with it. If we feel like changing our vibes, we'll change our vibes. Also realize how shiny my face is. Did the missus have a lovely birthday? She did. She had a wonderful birthday. She did. It was very, I'd say very chill, but she got around to see friends and fam and all that stuff. So yeah, she had a great birthday. Can't see me. You just have to open your eyes. It sounds like a you issue. Yeah, you should probably work on that. I'm right there. If you can't see me, I can't help you. Yes, there are some Shrek emotes for everyone. They're there. They exist. Yes, I had to. All right. Let me replay this. Yeah. Okay. You guys hear that? Loud and clear? Awesome. Sweet. I have changed every single alert that I have. When I do a cosplay for the entire stream, I change all of my alerts to match the cosplay. All right. I think everything's good now. Can't see you. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everything was running okay because we were running into issues already. Yeah. Dude, I have to itch my nose and now my finger's green. Oh God. Cosplay. Are you Shrek right now? I mean, close. I tried to be. I'm very shiny. But look what I found. I found a hat. This is my new move when I do cosplays. I'm going to look for baseball caps that have whatever I need intertwined. Look at the ears. No setting. Dude, you think I'm going to go out of the way to do powder and all that junk? It took me less than 2 to 3 minutes. I just rubbed a freaking green stick all over my face. We're good. We're Gucci. Also, I ordered this small on purpose. I think it was a mistake. This shirt's very tight. This shirt is very, very tight. Also, oh no, my alerts. Oh no, hold on. I'm turning them off. I didn't do it for this scene. Oh, I hate it here. I failed you. I'm so sorry. You know what? Here, this is going to be so scuffed, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Paste. Oh God. Nope. Still scuffed. I forgot about this scene. If I start to sweat, this is going to go in my eyes. This is going to be so bad. Okay. All right. That should be okay. The alerts are going to be on this side of the screen, but I think it's better than nothing. Thank you for the biddies. Oh my God. The sub didn't alert? Refresh. Refresh. I guarantee if you refresh, it'll play. Imagine someone who comes in who doesn't know who you are. Corpse, I guarantee that there are plenty of people here that found me on a day when I was doing stupid stuff like this. What am I seeing? What do you think you're seeing? I'm one of those people. Hi, Kill Switch. Welcome to the stream. How's it How's it going? Oh my God. Yeah. That is not Shrek related. Art, thank you for the 66 months, dude. Look, when I do this stuff, I try to go out of the way at least a little bit, you know? Lizzie, thank you for the tier 3 for 32 months. I will do the roar. Jackie, thank you for the 23 months. I have to itch my nose. This is so... I'm so itchy. I'm so itchy. It's right here. The itch is right here. But look what happens when I itch my nose, though. Oh, God. Oh, God. I have more green upstairs if I need it. Did a great job. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's not a boogie. No, it's not. You can see I'm below the knot. Like I'm below the hole. Thank you for the 5 subs. Like I said, I have changed every single alert that I have to be Shrek. Follows, bits, subs, raids, different types of subs. Not primes, but I mean like so many gifted, so many bits. I've changed all of them. Every single one. Percy, thank you so much for the 5. Nervy, what does that follow? Oh my God. Ember! I unfollowed just for that. You ruined your follow age, you nerd. Why are you covered in goo? Because Shrek was covered in goo. And we respect our elders. That's why. Yeah. Ghosty girl, thank you for the biddies. Oh man. Boyfriend fell asleep on the couch. Oh God, I'm crying. I'm crying goo. I'm crying goo. Hold on. I feel it in the corner of my eyes. I'm crying goo. Okay. Okay, we're good. I just don't want it to get in my eyeballs. We should be okay. That should be the new sub sound. No. How can I win a sub? You know that you're subbed, right? Where's Donkey? He's one of... Wait, what alert is he? He's one of my alerts. What did I make him? I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out. Mr. Chinggis, I seen you. I'm French. That's cool. I'm American. In the morning, you making waffles? I don't know. Have the kids seen the outfit? Yeah, they have. Yeah, my daughter thought it was great. My son, I tried to give him a kiss. He didn't want it. Oh, my blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns. Gizmo, thank you for the 11 months. Well, this will be exciting. So we are doing PowerWash Simulator, the Shrek expansion pack, obviously. I mean, duh. So this should be fun. It's going to be nice and chill, relaxing stream. Maybe. Instead of the bad wheel today, I will say, and I told I told the subs this already. I said, instead of the bad wheel today, if we just so happen to double our daily goal today, I'm going to take a bite out of an onion like an apple. I hate onions. Hate. Unless they are diced to oblivion and you can't even tell that they're there, I hate onions. But they have layers, and this is Shrek. They're awful. They're not good. Even caramel. I mean, maybe Maybe. You can't eat them at all. Good for you. See, look, there's enough people here that don't like onions. Look at that. See? Green onions, that's fine. Especially depending on the application. Like how you're eating them. You know? Dad, thank you so much for the biddies, dude. Week, thank you for the tier 1. I don't know if these are primes or not. I can't tell because it's all the same alert. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it so much. Oh my God, Apocrypha. Good for flavoring, bad for biting into. Apocrypha! Let me get this game started so we can get moving. Hi, Roxy. Ew. Straight up ew. Allie, thank you for the biddies. What about those crispy fry? Okay, that's fine. Those are fine. The crispy fry onions? Yeah, they're fine. Trying to make sure my ears are noticeable. Are they good? Welcome to July. Yeah, I don't have that as an alert. I was going to, but I decided against it. Yeah. There it is. What are you doing in Shrek's swamp? Cleaning it, of course, along with 4 more mucked up locations from the hit animation series. We have more than enough to clean. More than enough. K-Jen, thank you for the 11 months. Oh, bloomin' onion. Look, my wife and I both worked at Outback, and we would come home smelling like a damn bloomin' onion. We still really enjoy bloomin' onions. My wife, by the way, if I get her to play games or if I got her to do this would be her jam. This is her favorite. We watched this movie yesterday for her birthday outside on the deck. Every birthday, she wants to watch a movie outside ever since COVID. So we always watch Back to the Future because she's cool. She's pretty rad. Yeah. Did you bond over onions? No. What happens if it's raining? You know what? It was doing it last year. I have a pop-up tent that I put over top of the furniture and also the screen so that we could still do it. Yep. Live on you. I don't know if I'm actually going to stream to YouTube today. I think I might not, just so we can focus on Twitch. Yeah, I think I might not be anywhere else today. We just hang out here, you know? All right. Well, free play star. I haven't played this in a very long time. And also the amount that I've played is very, very minimal. Very minimal. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday. Thank you. If you collect enough hats, would you consider a hat switch redeem? Maybe. Maybe, especially if I can find comical hats like this that do things that are like my normal hat style with Magic School Bus. What the hell, Storm? All right, let's go check out Duloc, shall we? Thank you, Ghosty. Classic cartoon mention. I know. That was not Shrek related, but the second one was. Yeah. You should do Red from Angry Birds for your next... Why the hell would I do that? Angry Birds. Might be scarier than Zero Sanity. How dare you? I'm adorable. Well, here it is. Also, the reason that I am playing music is because I heard that there was no music inside of this game for this. No music at all. So any music that you're going to have, you have to play yourself. If you're not playing anything, it's like this. Sorry, I'm itching my nose. You have something on your face? Yeah, they're my glasses, Stab. Grow up. I got to get a drink here soon. I'm parched. There's no music in this game. There must be music somewhere because look. See here. Options. Audio. Music. I just think that there's no music here. Flash's fingers are covered in goo. No, they're not. I've done a good job at keeping them away from the goo. I think I did great. Maybe the menu screen. I don't even think that had it. So here we are in Duloc. From the sound of it, it sounds like we're actually wearing armor, but we're going to pretend like we're just shuffling along as Shrek. Okay. And we have us a job to do. No, thank you for the biddies, dude. Such a perfect town. I know. Look at it. Look at it. What should we clean first? You know what? This is what we're cleaning first. Do you know the Muffin Man? All right. Now, what I don't remember is how to do different stuff. So this changes the nozzle. I guess the different type of spray, right? Yeah. Rest assured, Knight, those responsible for this outrage have been incarcerated. Little does he know. Hey, Galactic. Oh, God, I almost itched my nose again. I almost did it again. I may or may not wheel them out on the big day, depending on whether the congregation looks like it needs a boost at the back. What the hell? Hi, MK. How are you? You bought the Alice in Wonderland map? Nice. All right. Well, we're going to do our best. Isn't there a way to rotate? Oh, satisfying. I'm going to turn the game volume down a little bit for me. Oh, it's such good memories, too. Look at this. Now, it's going to take me a minute to remember, like, what to do, because I've only played so much. That'll never get old. How dirty can one thing get? I mean, honestly. Shy! Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Like, even that was by itself. Come on. Hi, Tash. You use power and you wash. Listen, dude. But there's like things you can do. There's like separate little things you can do. Why is there so many crevices? My God. Isn't there a way to highlight this stuff? Oh, that's not it. We're doing this game for the whole stream? Sure are. Olive! Can crouch for the little hard spaces. Go prone. Tab. Ah, holy hell. Hi, Olive. You know us, just having a Shrekin' good time. It's so loud in my ears. I don't know about you guys. Kench, thank you for the 6 months. Tier 3, dude. Yellow nozzle's the muscle. Yeah, there we go. Look at it go. Look at it go. We'll learn. We'll figure it out. All in due time, friends. All in due time. Can I jump? Yeah, we can jump too. The game of the alerts. The game. The PowerWash seemed loud. But if your guys are okay with it, then I'm okay with it. Yeah. I need a scooch. I need a scooch. Wonder how long you'll be slightly green after this. You know what? When I did my Grinch and also when I did my Beetlejuice, I got that off pretty easily, actually. My wife has a crap ton of makeup remover. If she doesn't have any right now, I'm screwed. How long did it take to be Shrek? Like 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes, maybe, max. There's a ladder over there. Oh, that. Oh. Well, we're going to focus on this first. Welcome to Duloc. It's a perfect town. Who decided to cover this entire area of swamp water? It was probably me. Honestly. Oh, look at the birds. What does he say when they walk in and they look at the castle? What's he say? About someone must be compensating for something. Yeah, that's what it was. Holy. Notes here, 21K. Nice. What? Oh, there we go. Let's put it down there. Yeah, that's nice. I like it. I don't know what I was expecting from the cosplay, but it was not that. You know, it's me. That's what you expected, me. And here I am in all my glory. Hiya! truck has muscles. Come on, that's the entire roof, right? No, I won't be green at work tomorrow. I'll be fine. Look. Oh, man, there's so many little crevices. We'll just mow our way down. Okay. See this? All these little parts, all these little bits and pieces. Like even the front of that. Can I even shut this? How do I reach you? How's Mrs. Flash feeling? She's feeling okay. It's a lot easier to get out of breath now. Being extremely pregos. Limber up. Press F. It doesn't do anything. Oh. Oh. Thank you. I would have never known that I could actually do that. Oh, it's not playing the music. I'm so sad. Sometimes we troll. I know. Can I get in there? Let me in. Let me in. It's fine. Like, I'm losing my shit. I feel like I just cleaned this. It's gonna be a long day. Say shoot it harder. Shoot it harder. No, it's okay. Look at all the little crevices. There we go. At the bottom here. Look, even the little bottom part here has got to get cleaned. My word. Listen, they kicked me out of my swamp. This is what they get. Okay. Hopefully, like when this is 100%, the music starts playing on that thing. That's my hopes and dreams. Okay. Now, I'm fairly certain that there's a way for me to check the completion on this. Is it by looking in the information board? Oh, look. Oh, it tells you. Oh, the little pop-up. I'm an idiot. Flash's kids are swamp kids? Yeah, probably. Callie, thank you for the biddies. There's a menu. Is it within here? How do I see just this? Information. Ah, there it is. 90. The door's at 99. Yeah, okay. It's almost there. Stand lever mechanism. Okay. Yeah, see that right there? That's what it is. As you narrow down, it'll show only that. Okay. Game Boy, thank you for the 4 months. The door. I see the door here. Yeah. I got this. What up? Aha. Okay. What are we missing? Little parts here. Like, man, I feel like I've sprayed that stuff 100 times. But you do see the bar for each item. Ah, that is true. So, like, the stand frame says 1% cleaned. Oh, no, that's for overall. Sorry. The information stand. What, is it the opposite direction? Does it fill from right to left? If you click on that part? If I click on it from where? Starts fully white. Okay. You said if I click on that part, how do I click on it? Like tab does all of them. Is it a way to highlight just... Valak! Thank you for the raid! Throughout the night, we'll get to hear some of the alerts for the first time. Click on it by insert information. I hate your face. In the menu. Well, that's not here. How was stream? Valak, welcome in. Hello. Don't mind me. I'm just shrekking about. Can I not shut it there? No, I can't. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Who would have known that Shrek Power Wash would have jump scares? W Fit, thanks, bruh. How's Power Wash treating you? It's okay. I played maybe once or twice ever. And because we reached a St. Jude goal, I promised that I would do a Shrek cosplay, because the way that we got to where we are right now is my kids chose different cosplays of what they wanted me to dress up as. And then the community voted on their favorite. And this ended up being it. Yeah. And then I said, you know what? We'll play this if we reach a certain St. Jude milestone. And we did. So here we are. Get Shrek, nerd. That's right. Oh, I see up there the frame. That's that panel. Information stand frame. Is it like the gold part? Oh no, I'm getting green. Damn it. Wait, thank you for the 8 months. Kench, thank you for the subs. Oh my God. You know, it's actually coming off my fingers fairly easily. Ogre shenanigans? Yeah, ogre shenanigans. All right. What am I missing? Oh, it's the top. Oh, I see it. How do I get you? With the ladder? Oh, dirty. I sensed it too. I sensed it. Hiya! Can I get you like this? Is this possible? Haha! Get Shrek'd. There we go. You're getting rid of precious mud. Listen, dude. Listen. What about up here? I think that's already good. No, that's 100. That's 100. Okay. Let's get uncrouched. Am I missing anything else on the information stand? Yes, the stand frame. The frame. The lever. Is this updated? Like, I'm so confused. Valak. What'd you do on stream, Fran? Oh, there is parts. Where? No, not that. This. You're not confused. You're Shrek. Okay, good point. Aha! We gotta look in every damn crevice. Updates in real time. Okay. Roger that. Time Lord, thank you for the 20 months. Is there a way for me not to lie down where I can just like go like this to standing? There's a spot on the gold stuff on the left side up. Nailed it. Really, I should just like mass wash this entire area and not focus so hard on one thing. Like just go up and down the street right now. The hand not being green took me out of the immersion. Oh, shut your face. There's no shot I could have made my hands green too. There's no way. I'm not getting that all over my keyboard and mouse. Try pressing Z. No, it doesn't do anything. What are you whoming? That is all of the information stand. Nice. What do you guys want me to wash now? What's next? Dirty keyboard. Where's Donkey? He's one of the alerts somewhere. Not willing to make your hands green. No. Everything. Trees. You guys want me to focus on trees? On these guys? A lot of people are saying trees. Can I wash your onions? I could sure try. Did I know Shrek? Oh yeah, we were homies. Shrek and I go way back. Or am I Shrek? You don't know. Everything. The OCD is just driving you off the wall. There we go. Get the base first. Work our way up the tree. Hey, Draptor, how are you? Is that even the bottom? Maybe not. Oh, wait. No, okay. This entire tree is just one thing. I see. I see. Did pretty well, Truth. Oh, thanks. I think I did a pretty decent job myself. See, I wonder if I like just go in circles, but the problem is there's an this part here keeps lifting me up, and that's really annoying. Hi, Ninja. You have different tips? I do. I just don't know which one's the best one. I've just been using the yellow one because that seems right. Something wider. Giggity. Control cycles through the stand crouch. Well, yeah. Yeah, I know. You can't go from like this to stand. You have to go back all the way through crouch. All right, let's go get the ladder. Can I rotate? Can I rotate? Can I rotate you? Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Ah, well, there's another. I hate it here. I didn't see the second ladder that was literally sitting next to me. God damn it. There we go. I did not even pay attention. Oh, you misunderstood. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this. Okay, no. We want to do like maybe like this or like this. Back up a little bit, like there. Let's try that. Imagine Flash paying attention. Yeah, you know what happens once every blue moon. Once every blue moon or so. Don't forget to shine my shoes and wipe my face. Roger that. Not as much pressure as the yellow. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's... I mean, it looks like it's doing a pretty sufficient job at cleaning, though. And it's doing it quickly, right? Because look at the area. Give me you. Give. So then we'll take this guy. Put this one like... like there. Certain surfaces? I assume so, because you see how it says stone, multi-purpose, all that jazz. I'm guessing, but that's maybe has to do with soap. Which we don't have soap. Not that I'm aware of. There we go. Looking good. All right. Soap makes some surfaces easier. Roger that. There we go. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm fine. But yeah, I've played this maybe 2 times ever. Oh, look, another tree. Is Mrs. Flash Fiona so the family can be complete? Is Josie Donkey? Amelia, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. The tree is cleaned. Oh, dude, holy hell. This is the move right here. My God. Don't forget to get the teep. Then you go, Hadouken. Take this one. What is this little thing? Is that also for me? Oh, there's another ladder over here. Okay, they're kind of in my way. There we go. Oh, okay, it's just a little booster. Okay, just a little stool. And then we got this guy. Let me place it on the tree. Can I only place this on... Oh, it shows me where I can do it. Okay, I see. That's what she said. She might have said that. That's true. Let's get down here first, and then we'll work our way around. Na, 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 na. How dare you? Break, thank you for the biddies. How dare you? I feel it in my eyes. I feel it in the corner of my eyes. I was being nice. Were you? Were you? I'm all right. I'm good. I'm just getting it out of there before bad stuff happens. Okay, I'm good. You look like Shrek's country cousin. Country? What do you mean? Tappy. Well, that shows me loadout. What does tapping E do? What? LaDarsha, thank you for the 10 months. I'm confused. I was told to tap E and I don't know why. No rhyme, no reason. All right. Oh, the descriptions for the nozzle. Roger that. Go up to... All right. I guess I got to get that part up there. I assume. Hi, Sprankles. Great game, man. It's been so long since I've played it. Tis been a while. What the hell am I missing, man? We're so close. Oh, that whole other side. Jump. Yeah. Let's go. Nailed it. Okay, well, might as well get you while we're here. Hey, Daisy, how are you? They wanted me to focus on the trees, so we're focusing on the trees. I'm doing what they asked. If at any point you guys want the music louder, let me know. Because it's not with the game. The music I'm playing through a playlist. Who's they? Everybody that said trees. Apparently chat wanted him to branch out. Awful. Just awful. That's a Shrek face if I've ever seen one. Yeah, don't forget, you guys have some Shrek emotes today. I think it was a break inside of Discord that said she was really worried about what Shrek Riz was for an emote. Well, it's there. All right, pick you up. Put you back down. Much concern. Well, I mean, you know. Does it make sense now, though? Can I... Hold on. Oh, I can stand up here? Oh, well, that makes a lot... That's a horse of a different color. I didn't realize I could stand on this. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that guy. Oh, my God. All right. Are we on to another tree or what? Courtney! Thank you for the 8 months. That was weird. Quite a grip on them feet. Well, you know, I don't think Shrek, I don't think he takes care of much. We're washing this guy off. I have to. This was the guy, this was the head that was on the guy that ran away from Shrek. Oh, look at all the footprints. E. Oh, to read about the nozzles? Or to change extensions or what? Zero degree, 15, 25, 40. That's how you say his name. Farquad? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, just saying E, like, again, saying E is not helpful. Hey, E. All right, now what? All right, have fun. I see the nozzles. I see the extensions. E. Clothing? Oh, I can't. I'm just a knight. I can't change it. Have you not seen the E meme? Well, when I can literally press E, it's not really a meme. Get in there all nice and deep like. Cup Fritz! Thank you for the 8 months and happy birthday. I hope you had a great birthday, friend. Welcome in. All right. Get his little mushroom cap here. Go around the other side. Okay, looking good. Oh, we got to go prone. Oh, God. Oh, I lagged there for a second. You call your boss Farquad? That sounds a little mean. I have a feeling you don't call them Farquad for fun. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, the road. Okay. I think Farquad's head is complete. I think. Farquad head. Farquad. Oh, flower display is different. Okay. All right, that's looking good. That's looking good. Oh, there's so much work to be done. There's so much work to be done. Oh, I kind of want to just like focus on an area. Just like, hold on. Is this the power guy? Just like do one of these. And then we can come back and like clean it up. This might be the way. Farquad seems a little shorter today. Missed some spots anyway, yeah. But I see if we get enough of it, then it marks it off. Typewriter mode activated. Oh, come on. Thank you for the 6 months. Thank you for the sub, friend. Shrek thanks you. All right. That door was done. This one was not. Oh, my Lance, a heater. 6 months on a Shrek stream. Let's go. We're just non-stop spraying. I got to itch my nose so bad. Hi, Mrs. B. What am I was going to say, what am I missing on the door? Maybe it's on the sides here like that. All right. So that door's good. That door is good. That one's good. That one's good. Now it's going to be these edges. Clean Nanor. I did clean Nanor. I did. I did a great job at cleaning Nanor. Welcome to Dula. So, Shrek, how are the kids? They're good. They're good. Thank you for asking. Oh, look how dirty that is. Like, even spraying it this close, it was not really cleaning it that well. Are going to be fun. Listen. No, this is Shrek. Are those paw prints? I'm sorry. Were those paw prints? We decided on a name. What's the name? What is going to be the name? You're overthinking it? No, I swear they're paw prints. I'm telling you right now. Look at this. Those look like paw prints. I think Puss in Boots was here. I'm convinced. You can't say anything to make me think otherwise. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Shrek. But he wears boots. He can't leave prints. But if he takes his boots off. Remember when he went flipping through the air in the first time we ever saw him? He didn't have boots on, did he? Nope. Point set match. Hit a flip into his boots. I'm just saying. Go back and watch. I'm just saying. It's how it went down. I remember. And his front paw is right. Maybe he was just walking around doing one of these guys. Yeah, see? So much water. So much water. Oh, let's take a look. Oh my God. So much to be done. It's funny because I'm looking at areas and I feel like I already did it. And it just magically got dirty again from what it feels like. Shrek do the roar? No. See, I don't actually do the roar. We just have an alert that says do the roar. Which is close enough. All right, I think I got that guy already. Yeah, that's already done. This one's not. There we go. There we go. This is just a part of the road. This has a sliver. Nice. I'm gonna have to get up there and get all that stuff. Careful how much water you use. You don't want to make a place out. Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. What's left on that one? The front? There it is. Bam. Bam. The booth. What are we missing on the booth? Ooh, even the handle by itself. Gosh darn, dude. What? Is it like behind? It's double the goal, right? Yeah. Are you talking about the onion? Yeah. What? Is it that? This? I'm so confused. Oh, I hate your face. That little tiny bit. I was singing when I opened the stream and walked away back to glance over and froze all action singing at the Shrek. You can sing at me all you want. As long as it's a song from Shrek. Okay? All right. So this, I mean, for the, this main part here is good. It's just this entire back wall here that could use a lot of work. Man, there's a lot. There's so much to be done. Like a parfait. Does Chris Rock play Donkey? No. He played a zebra. Donkey was Eddie Murphy. Chris Rock? Yeah, that's Madagascar. That's wrong movie, my guy. What's happening here? Nothing. Just chilling, playing some PowerWash Sim. What are you doing? Sybes, thank you for the 13 months. Wasn't that Marty? Yeah. The character's name, Marty? Yeah. Ben Stiller played the lion. That was what's his name from Friends. Right? That played Ross. David Schwimmer. Yeah. I like them big. I like them chunky. Been waiting for this stream. Snowbird, hello. Who plays Mort? I I don't know. King Julian was freaking Borat. The big and chunky song is your friend's ringtone. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good. All right, we might have to bring the big guns out over here. We shall make it clean, damn it. It will happen. Andy Ridker. Oh, Andy Ridker was Mort. Oh, there you go. Go up and down, all around. Technically speaking, that alert thing is technically correct. Yeah, there's a few alerts I can guarantee will probably not get played today, but I'll play them for you anyway, just so you can see what they are. I came prepared. Kind of. I'd say came prepared. I came ready just in case. But I mean, that is the definition of being prepared. PowerWash Sim. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get the ladder over here. Nope, that's E. That's E. E. Are you going to let me do that? It'll let me go there. Is that probably good enough? Probably. Huh? Shrek prepared. That's a first. Why is that a first? Why is that a first? There we go. Looking good. Been wanting to try it. It's super chill. It is very relaxed. Very chill. Yeah, once you you see all that bright goo, as soon as you clear a section, it's very satisfying. Oh, that's right. I can walk on that. Right? I mean, that does put me very close, though. It's not exactly what I want to do, but it might be okay. It might be okay. Gotta hit my nose. Shauna, hi. Sorry. I know it looks like I'm getting boogers. I'm not. I swear I'm itching my nose, but I'm trying to not remove all the makeup. Ah. It's not boogers. It's not boogers. It's a little disorienting, but I think... Switch to the wide load. Oh, because of how close I am? Look, even then it still misses stuff, which is wild. Look how close I am. I guess because it's stone? Love the outfit. Thank you. Snot boogers? Shauna can compliment you, but I can't. Okay, why don't you tell Shauna what the compliment was? Go ahead. What did you say? Shauna would love to know what you said. She already knows. Okay. That's even worse. How dare you? Why am I stuck? I'm too fat. Thank you, Rafa. Ads are about to play, by the way, if you're not subbed. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. Checking out different sprays, see which one's better. At this distance, it's almost like this guy would probably be the way. right. I've got to get closer. Or wait. Extra long extension? Yeah? Is that the guy? Can't you jump over there? Yeah, but I can only get so high. Like, there's nothing, like me jumping over there puts me all the way down there. I can't get the stuff that's up here like that. Yeah, what up, Sam? I could probably move this a little bit closer. It's hard to tell if it's dirty or if it's just wet. A little difficult to tell. I mean, it looks like it's just wet. OSHA approved. I'm tied off. We're fine. I'm tied off. All's well. It's fine. Just got off work and spent $94 on hair and body products. Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is my kingdom. Yep. That's my flag. That's right. This Bish. Thank you for the 31-month Prime. Gonna head out. Have a wonderful stream. Shorty, thank you so much. Don't forget, onions have layers. Roger that. Roger that. Noted. We're fine. Can I put you closer? Oh, I can. I can get you real close. Okay, never mind. We don't need this long extension anymore. E. Outside of Shrek, the Shrek stream, will you get any more power sim in the future? Oh, maybe. Yeah, if it's something that's enjoyable, yeah. And the circular one for very close range? The circular one. Are you talking about this guy? Or this guy? This is the circular guy, right? Try this for now. Do a couple passes. There we go. You demand a peen drawing? I'll think about it. I feel like you have to earn a peen drawing. That's not something you just get. You gotta earn it. How do you earn it? I don't know. But you earn it. Look, you can't just go around giving away peen drawings. I don't know if they have either, Mayor. I think you're right. Mayor gets it. Oh, the flag's done. Nice. Playing something other than Faz? I literally uploaded a video today to YouTube that was not Faz. For goodness sakes. Also, 5 gifted subs and more are 35% off. The Goosebumps video I uploaded today. You read that as penne? Like pasta. That's right, I'm FlashForce. That's right. Get it! Get it! I'm jetting this mother effer. You're mine! You're mine! Oh, there's so much of the tower. Okay. Let me do a little jump here. Comes with a price. I could probably get this tree while we're here too, but my God, man. You do so... You feel like you do so much, and really, it's really not a lot. In reference to like everything else here. I can't even, I'm so close, I can't even hit that one. Oh my God, I'm stuck. Okay. No. this guy. Playing Farquaad's castle. Yeah. Giving it a queen. I mean, we were hired. This is our job, you know? Kogo, thank you for the biddies. All right. That should be good for now over here-ish. We'll get the undercarriage and then move along. Oh, I fell. Fury Den! My friend. Ooh. Oh, the entrance wall's clean! Let's go! All right. No, I didn't add one this time, Juju. I didn't have time. I ran out of time. I would have done a 69. I know, I failed. I was prepared everywhere except for that. I'm just trying to clean this whole area now at this point. We might as well, right? Trying to figure out the dog killer. I think that one's 500. I think it's 500. I think. If I recall. Because now I'm trying to remember exactly where I stuck some of the alerts. There we go. It's looking better. Looking better. Much better. Lovely. Man, that is satisfying. Look at that big chunk you get there. Holy moly. Murphy, thank you for the biddies. I probably should have moved the bits thing down. I totally should have, but I was too late. There it is. Hey, fun fact. ChatGPT made that emote for me. Well, that made that donkey with the waffle because I could not find a picture of it anywhere and I wanted it. So it made it for me. I made it animated so it bounced up and down for me. So yeah, that was ChatGPT. Because it was just for, I'm only using it for a day. If it was alerts that I was going to be keeping, I would pay an artist to get it done for me. But for just a day, no. Donkey with a waffle? Yeah. Donkey with a little stack of waffles. Yee trash. It's like a really fancy insult. Yee trash. Did I miss something? Join the stream and seen FlashForce? Hey! Yeah, we met some St. Jude goals, and I promised I would not only dress up as Shrek, but I would also play this PowerWash Simulator expansion pack where you are in different areas of Shrek. So for right now, we're in Duloc. New glasses? See, I told you guys Fate would notice. See, nobody else noticed. What's different about you? It's the glasses. Thank you, Fate. See, at least somebody cares. In the morning, I make waffles. Are you committing power washing the entire stream? I certainly am. Yep, unless we on a whim decide to do something else. I said this is what we were doing today, and here we are. Hi, Coach. We didn't recognize you at first. Coach, how's it going, Fran? Oh, I can't reach up there. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Give. Do that. Extension. Go. Bam. Little fat, little harder, as they say. There it is. Bam. Don't even have to get the ladder over here. It's going. Nice, nice. Like to hear it. We're just, you know, getting recognized by everybody. It's crazy. Rhodey! It's a genuine question. What are you doing in my swamp? Mr. Roadside. Thank you for the raid, sir. How was stream? Don't mind me. I'm just power washing Duloc, you know. Hey, man, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, all right? I'll do what I got to do to make some money around here. Rhodey, I hope you had an amazing stream, sir. Man, this wall is dirty AF. It was good. Opened some Pokemon cards, played some. Ooh, the shop sim. How was? 'Twas good. What's going on? You look wild. Thanks. I must say, your outfit is Shrek. Wait, what? Call me Fruit. Thank you for the 6 months. Apparently, it's everyone's birthday, Fruit. Happy birthday to everybody that has a birthday today, apparently. Oh my God. Bet your kids love the cosplay. They thought it was pretty interesting. I got done making dinner. As soon as I got done making dinner for the fam, I then saw the time and I was like, crap, I got to get ready. So I ran upstairs, put the makeup on and all that jazz, finished a couple alert things. Yeah. Sorry, itchy nose again. Okay. We're okay. No, we're not. I'm still itchy. I lied. They're not boogers. It's just my nose is so itchy. Oh, okay, we're fine. It's okay. You're an ogre. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate it. That's normal. That's fine. I want this guy. Bag of dicks. What? No. I've done makeup a few times now. Like not just dressing up, but dressing up with like a full face of makeup on. And it's been okay. And it's been fine. Man, I have to keep hitting it though. I gotta keep hitting it though. Sea West, thank you for the 3 months. What occasion? Halloween? Yeah, Halloween, Christmas. Yeah, I dressed up for both. You're so green. Thank you. What'd you do for Christmas? I dressed up as the Grinch. Halloween, I was dressed up as Beetlejuice. You have no filter? Oh, you don't say. I have a blurb alert that probably would also agree with you. This means you're the next alphabet, right? No. Listen, I can't only do things that are green. Oh, that actually comes. You can't tell me you're not just green with envy. I hate it here. I hate it here. Ms. V, hello. Hi. Gotta get these stubborn stains off of there. For a while, I thought Shrek was just removing dirt to see the spray paint. No, apparently it comes off. But you gotta get in there nice and deep like though. Are we power washing Duloc? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Something more focused. I mean, this guy here, but like, there's no spread on that guy whatsoever. See what I mean? It's like a laser. Should do a cosplay of this guy on Twitch. He's called Flash. Lame. No spread. I'm done. Okay. I have a feeling coach is not very low right now. I just have a feeling. I have bought nothing. Nope. I'm just spraying my life away. What could that be? I don't know. I'm just an innocent little Shrek. You know. You know. Coach, they were asking me to, they were asking for PowerWash peens. See West, do the roar. Thank you for the biddies, friend. Thank God it was that one. Yeah, for now. Can I get up there? Give. Let's go there. Nope. Nope. There. There's no way someone made large maps and said, yeah, people will watch this. You kidding me? Of course they will. Because then if it takes a lot of time, you have a lot to do in a single map rather than it being something that gets done super, super fast and it's just over. You know? You should do it, Flash. I should do what? Schedule one? No, I'm good. I'm all right. Oh, nope. There we go. Oh, make PowerWash peens. I told them they had to earn it, but I set no standard for how they would earn it. Yeah. Someone needs to go to Coach's house and take her gummies away right now. Whoever lives closest to Coach, you need to go drive to her house right now. Apocrypha! Well, there's another alert we haven't heard yet. Apocrypha! Fate will call my grandpa. Grandpa, come take her stuff away. Apocrypha, thank you so much for the subs, friend. Oh my God. That, I'll tell you, when I was looking for alerts and I heard that saxophone one for Shrek, knew immediately where it went. Knew immediately where to put it. Did that earn a power washer peen? You're so desperate. Yeah, if you were gifted, now you have some Shrek emotes. Yeah. Oh, come on. Is this tree not done enough? Please. Come on. I can't. There we go. Got it. Flash, this is awkward. What happened, Rain? Are you okay? Are you in need of some Shrek assistance? I could help. I need a drink. I'm so parched. Hi, Rain. I don't know much of what I could do. You know what I should have done? Oh man, you know what I should have done? I should have had little like gingerbread cookies. Like should have had little like gingerbread cookies. That would have been the way. If you don't know what I mean by grandpa, I'll tell you later. I'm assuming you're talking about Aldi, which is not very nice. A swamp flavored soda. I can't say I have any of those. Do I know the Muffin Man? The one that lives on Drury Lane? Oh, not Aldi. Okay, I thought you all were trying to make fun of poor Mr. Aldi. Oh, wait. Nope, I know. Oh, nope. I got it. It clicked. It registered. I got it. Nope. I got it. Understood. My nose has been itchy and like a little bit runny, which is really bad because it's the paint. Yeah. Yeah, it registered, coach. You told me about something already. So I yeah. Yep. Anywho, let's see. Let's go finish this over here. My glasses frames? Oh, they're green. They're going to be covered in green. She's married to the Muffin Man. A Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Like Chesney and I talking about you not realizing in DMs. What do you mean? I do realize now. As soon as you said not Aldi, I knew. As soon as you said not Aldi, I was fully aware. I guess I'll do sections. I guess we'll do this one right here first. Yeah. Hey, Sapien. Looking a little green. Yeah, you know. Sometimes you get down with the weather. Damn COVID. This map took you 84 years. I feel like I've done nothing at all. Does Mrs. Flash love the Shrek? She cackled at me. I expect nothing less, to be honest with you. As she should. I agree. I agree. What's really funny about this is that my son just got... my son just got done doing Shrek the Musical. And he was Farquaad. Yeah. Carrie, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I was telling, if you guys are just popping in, I was telling everybody earlier in the beginning that every single one of my alerts has been changed to Shrek. If I ever do a cosplay where the cosplay is something I'm doing the entire stream and we plan a stream around that cosplay, all of my alerts get changed. All of them. Everything. Even the music. We're listening to like medieval fantasy music right now. So yeah, follower, raid, you name it, it's changed. Nice. There's like that little guy over there. I feel like those are nothing burgers. I feel like I can like do a bigger section over here and it'll just eventually cover it. Light should match the Shrek. Oh, the green. Thank you. Oh. No, I'm not a shark. All right. Moving on. You don't remember this map? It's Duloc. It's one of the Shrek maps. Nothing. Just hanging out. You should have changed the bot tips to Shrek. That would have been pretty funny. Like Shrek advice. That would have been a lot of work. It would have been funny. I agree. It would have been pretty damn funny. Is that a chant you hear in the background? Basically, it's the monks of the monastery. Yeah. You don't know this song? Weird. This is like this is too direct. Is this the way you're supposed to power wash? Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, this will do. The baby. Hello. Yeah, I won't do that again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, just take our time, go across, get all the spray paints off. There we go. So is there like a point system? A point system for... Oh, for getting it clean? Kind of, yeah. There's a percentage. So like city wall, if I go look at city wall, it'll tell me how much I have left. So like there's 6 different city walls. And for this one, you can see the little white sliver in the top left. That's how much I have left. That's how much I have left. Think we need Aldi to come get Coach? We might. Wait, no, no. She's only ever talking like that if she's literally in a voice chat with someone right now. I am willing to lay down Shrek dollars that she is in a voice chat with someone right now cackling. I'm not in voice chat with anyone. Now you're just a liar. There's no way you're sitting in bed like, oh, I know what I'm going to say next. I'm cackling alone. Because you're busy chatting with Grandpa. Are you in a voice chat with Grandpa? Because if you are, then I win. You're in schedule 1. In IRL, we know. She's doing IRL schedule 1 simulator. That is a game that I have not played in quite a while now. It takes so, I don't know. There's so much work to be done. I don't have time. I don't have time. I have too many walls to power wash. I can't be dealing with that shit. Underworld! Hi, friend. All right, let's keep this area going because we're doing damn good. Gotta make the time. I can't make the time. I have too many different games I want to try to play. Too many walls, I know. There's a lot of walls to be had. Okay, let's get this bottom corner here so that way I have a nice surface to go for. Good Lord. See all that? Here, let's hit the corner now. Some more graffiti. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Too many games, too little time, Grim. I know. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's like somebody used to do it full time. I know. We're over here doing a part-time job. What's with all the yellow paint? You realize that? Like all the yellow paint that's over here? Why? That's nice. That's a nice boulder. Justin! Thank you for the 18 months. Appreciate you. You sure that's paint? It's yellow. You want to tell me what it is? I hear that your court of spray a lot has a large round table where every knight has a seat to discuss the orders of the day. What the hell is he talking about? Duloc has a larger table with just one seat. Mine. Okay. Hey, Night Raptor. Plus schedule 1 still is removed from the stream. Wait. Still is removed from Steam here in Australia because it failed to meet requirements. Oh, of our very strict game rating system. Oh, interesting. I wonder if they plan on trying to fix it so that it will be back. Like you said, if it's really, really strict for you guys, that sucks. That's annoying. Can't get over how cute the hat is. Isn't the hat great? It's like, it's now a new future idea of like, whenever I do cosplays, I'm going to try to find hats that have whatever I need in it. Whatever it may be. Baseball cap with whatever I need. Sorry, I'm just staring at this while I do this. Tyler's work, a very long process. Roger that. Roger that. I want to be half not green anymore by the time I'm done from itching my face. Oh my God, Trek here. Oh my God. I, did. I clicked back in. I didn't mean to. Oh my God. Oh, it's onion time. Do I stop and get it now? You know, I mean, there's a lot to wash, guys. I mean, I probably shouldn't stop. Like, who else is going to clean all this? You make one good looking truck. Thank you. Thank you. You know, you should have brought, I know. You need lunch. Oh, stop for lunch. Am I on a lunch break now? All right. We're just going to sit over here so you guys can stare at the view. Ads are not for 27 minutes, so I can't run those yet. Ay, ay, ay. All right. I'll be back. I'm going to go get the onion. I'll be right back. Okay. Today is the onioning. Wonder Boy, thank you for the 15 months. God, I feel like it's going into my eye now. Is it onion time? Oh my God, right. Great. So I have 2 onions. Technically, I have a yellow and a white onion. I've peeled them because I figured if we hit the goal twice, I'd probably do it again. But, oh. FlashForce has arrived. You're confused with Shrek? I'm also confused with Shrek. So, I hate onions. Hate them. The music is very appropriate. It's like getting very ampy. Oh, no, it's very shiny. It's very, very shiny. Like, because of the lights, it's not matte or anything like that. Yeah. Should have chosen garlic. I'm sorry. Was there a moment in Shrek where they were talking about garlic? The point of the onion was because it was Shrek related. That was the entire point of this. I even added an onion emote. So, ogres are like onions. They're not like garlic. A parfait probably would have been better. All right. I just need to be ready to put this in the bowl or something like that. Okay. Is it that bad? Is it bad? I hate onions, but I'm just saying. I don't know how many people have like just taken a big old apple bite out of it. I need noise. That's good enough. I'm going to put it next to here so you can hear it. Okay? Fuck. Fuck. It's going to be green too. Oh my God. It's delicious. Oh my God. I'm not going to spit it out. I'm not a spitter. I'm not a spitter. I'm not a quitter. No. I'm fine. Ugh. So what are you then? A good man. A proud man. It just makes me really sad. Oh my God. Oh shit. Man. You know, like I've had onions, right? And I don't like them. But when you just straight up take a bite of one, man, that's powerful. Ugh. You're wincing watching that. Thank you. So if we hit 2, if we hit 2, I have to take a bite of the other one. Yeah, that's the rules. That's the rules of the road. Come back to tears. Yes, because I was eating an onion. Oh, that was hard to watch. Oh, I'm so sorry you had such a horrible time watching. God damn it. My eyes are watery. Your daughter eats onions like that? You need to take your daughter to the doctors. There's something wrong with your daughter. Oh my God. You have dots and you have UV and the ghost one hunt. What do? So what you do is you change the nozzle to the really powerful one. And then what you do is you draw a big old line across like this. And then you go like this. You go like this. And then you go like this. Come down, go all around, make it really big and wide, and then finish it. Yeah. That's my suggestion. That's what I would do. Yeah. That's what I would do. So that when you're done, so that when you're finished, you have this really nice tall house that you can look, you put a door there, put one of these, you do a nice little window here, nice little window treatment. See, look. Look, I draw like a little bush over here. Nice little bush beside the house. You know, look at that. Look at this beautiful thing we made. Now it's a giraffe. Oh my God. Onion is just awful. Who likes that on a regular, man? That is awful, awful, awful. Alpha! Smoke. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little smoke coming out of it. Oh, yeah, you're right. A little smoke coming out of here. A little smoke coming out of there. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Look what we've made. Look what we've made. We've made such a beautiful home. Onion's your favorite. Ugh. How, dude? This level looks intimidating. Oh, it does now. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, you know? Where were we? Looks kind of small. Damn. Damn. Apparently that's not good enough for Phoenix. If you need some power wash help in Morse code. Need at least a 3-story? Listen, I can't, man. Get Shrek'd. Get Shrek'd on. That's right. Oh, man. It's like such a bad time because like allergies are going off the wazoo and it's not good. I think you have something on your face. Hi, Pav. Yeah, it's my glasses. Do you like them? Don't you look pretty? I'm very shiny and I accept that. It's just the face paint that I got. It's just very shiny. There's nothing I can do. Yeah. Hi, Mel. I had to take a bite out of an onion, so that was delicious. Ugh. Maybe you see a Durham. Yep. So if you're just coming in, hi friends. All my alerts have been replaced by Shrek alerts. We are obviously dressed like Shrek. The whole reason this is happening is because of St. Jude goals that we met. And I made a promise that we were going to do this, and here we are. So anyway. Anywho. Now we're power washing. Love Shrek. Isn't all the alerts? All the alerts. Pav. Mr. Pavlov. I was hoping we'd hear that one. I had to add that. I'm just testing you. Oh, okay. Don't mind you, I guess. Pav. Dude. Mickey, thank you for the 13 months. I think I got stuff. I'm never going to wear this shirt again, but I somehow got like makeup on the shirt, like the bottom part and the arm. I don't know what the hell I did. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said that I went out of my way to replace all the alerts. I went out of my way to replace as many as I possibly could. If we listen, dude, listen. Do I need to set a goal for if we hit it where I have to dress up like Farquaad? Yeah, so if you missed it, I took a bite out of this. I took a big old bite out of this onion. And boy, do I effing hate them. It is just awful. It is awful. My son would appreciate it. Just no. So like the normal. So 100 bits or more is where, yeah. So we've seen the 100. We've seen the 1000. Yeah. Again, do not worry about stress testing. I will play them even if we don't hit them. Okay. I promise you. Right now we have work to do. We must find Donkey. We found Donkey. Donkey's at 500. The 500 bit alert. Yeah. Flash does not realize his love for onions. How dare you? Absolutely not. Do you guys want me to turn the sound of the power wash down? Like this? Are you guys cool with it? I'm making waffles. Thank you so much for the biddies. Withering Witch. If you guys are cool, then I'll keep it. But if you want me to turn it down, I can turn it down. It's a texture thing? Yeah, I think it's a partial texture thing for me too. Yeah. Dress up as Josie as Donkey. I could dress up Josie as Donkey. Oh, down a hair? Maybe. Like down to here? Let's try that, see what it sounds like. That sounds literally the same. That doesn't sound different at all. Oh, okay. There we go. That's better. Maybe the middle ground? Maybe like here? Water tone? Water tone. Wonder what water tone does. What's this do? What does that do? Let's do the extreme. Oh, it's not. It's like it removes the high pitch out of it. Oh, so maybe we do bring that down and bring that down a touch. So we go like here and here. So it's a little bit more pleasant on the ears. Set the tone. That's right. Background music's a little bit loud. Is it? Is it too loud? That's better. Yeah, I think it's already noticeably better. Music is fine. Yeah, let me know if it's too loud. If it's ever too loud, I'll turn it down. Hi, Morgan. What? I dress like this every Wednesday. I think we already set the tone with the peen. It's not a peen. It's a house. Look. Look. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is a house. It's a house with a door and a window, a bush, and a smoke coming out of the stack. I don't understand what you're talking about. Obviously, you guys are not into architecture. Some of us are not uncultured swine. Oh, I just got more goo on me. It's like somehow coming off of my face in like chunks. And I think that's what's getting on my clothes. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful, SpongeBob. What a time to get gooed on, right? How did that even happen? I think I'm melting. I think that's what's happening. I think I'm melting. I've got to be extra careful. Gotta be extra careful, SpongeBob. I mean, Shrek. Oh, yeah. It's like all over the place. You can see it like here and there. It's like falling off of me. That's the melting. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully not more. Maybe I should like put like a hold on. I just need something to catch it. You know what I mean? Already had the beard. Wait, what? What do you mean? All right. Hopefully that'll catch some of it. As long as I don't lean forward and go on my desk or any of that stuff, we should be okay. All right, we should be fine. Where were we? This guitar player is freaking getting it. Hope it gets all of your glass look. And that's happened every time I've dressed up. I've had to deep clean my freaking glasses. It's inevitable to happen anyway. I've accepted this. All right. These stubborn asses. There we go. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just like beeline this bitch. Did you just put Renaissance? Kind of. It's medieval fantasy. I figured that was sort of like Shrek vibes. Or, you know, close enough. Do you have ladder? I do. I do. Just figured if I could do this without the ladder, it'll save me some time. So look, I can get all the way up to there. We can get damn close to the top of that thing to get all of the main, like, spray paint parts off. Try soap on those parts? Yeah, I haven't purchased a thing. I've purchased literally nothing. I'm just doing brute force muscle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, soap. Yeah. Let's do there. Now, if I'm gonna get soap, how does one purchase soap? Do you have to do it from out of here, or can you do it in here? Is there a store? I find soap is a waste of money in the bonus content. Really? Interesting. Okay. Green's my color. I apparently pick it a lot. Although there's new clothing, though. So, is there a Shrek one? Oh, sad. They would have sold me. I would have purchased it with real money. I would have gone the whole 9 yards. It's like the brute force hits it better than that does. Next time, flash cut. No, we were just talking about that. If I were to reach some goal, would I dress up as another Shrek character? I feel like it's too closely related to Shrek. We might be able to get it enough to make this flag complete, just like that. Let's go upstairs a little bit. Get a little bit closer. There we go. There we go. Hey, Jane, how are you? Welcome in. Beryl, hello. Yes, enjoy your emotes. Enjoy your new Shrek emotes as well. We do have them for today. Look at the work of all them disgusting... Wait, are you calling me the disgusting peasant? I feel like my eyes are still watery from the onion. Night Raptor, have a good one. Thank you for chilling with us, friend. Enjoy the VOD tomorrow at work. Yeah. It'll be there. It'll be there. All right, let's put you there. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do one of these guys. Let's finish this off. We have this little area here. There we go. Look at all these damn foots, man. People are gross. If you use the right pressure, you can get it on pretty quickly. Yeah, and that does seem to be the factor. It's like the right pressure, the right material. Like you use the extension, like the extensions for the power wash, all that stuff. If you use it appropriately, you can get stuff done pretty quickly. I mean, hell, you could really, if you wanted to, you could spam it like this if you wanted to. I'm just trying not to make people sick. Bye, coach. Good luck. We're gonna wish you luck. Are there any games you plan to try in the coming future? If so, which ones? To try, I really want to try that retro style game where it's like you're playing a Game Boy in the back seat, but it's a horror game. What is it called? Damn, I have it wishlisted. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, it seems appropriate. Good luck seems like the right thing to say. I'm just walking this way. I might as well just freaking truck along and get it. Look at this. What kind of yellow? Like, it looks like someone shit eggs all over the place. But besides that, there's a horror game that's supposed to be like Duck Hunt. I really want to play that. I think it's called Duck Season. Egg poops. Not the egg poops. It's like the people throwing eggs. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah, duck season. Yeah. Someone peed. What the fuck? I don't know what kind of pee you see near you, but damn. Have you always liked horror games? No, the first 2 years that I was on Twitch, I didn't even play any horror games. Technically, I did play like 1 or 2, but it was only during Halloween. No, I didn't even really think of playing horror games, honestly. Ads are going to be starting, by the way, if you're not subbed. Hi, Bama. You know what? I'm going to move this guy out of the way for a second. Let's actually, while we're here, let's finish this. But after trying out some horror games, I enjoyed what it was like. Even though it was terrifying, it was still fun. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. It's like, you know what? I'm going to try this some more. I think I saw the VR. There is a VR version. I'm not going to probably play the VR version on stream, though. I more than likely would play the PC version. But I definitely want to play it, though. It looks really cool. Send bunny pics. Thank you for the 7 months. Egg drop in a soup. Oh, man, you ever have egg drop soup? Oh. Or wonton soup? Oh. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Ooh. Beautiful floor. We're getting there, man. Look, City Road. I'm guessing that it's just this section, like these different sections. I don't know which ones technically it's considered. But you see all the little extra sections here? So like there's still a little bit to be had here. I'm just going to press tab and go around and hit. Ooh. Still got this guy, I think. There we go. The fear of seeing everything clean and then turning around. I know, and then it's just filthy, absolutely filthy. All right, yeah, that's all filthy. We're gonna go back over this way. Look, but if you looked like this, look, it's not that bad. A little schmutz up there, but you know, I can do like one of these guys. Oh, that's not. Oh, that's almost done. Yahtzee. There we go. Why is the game so satisfying? It's just, I don't know, like seeing the completion of some of this stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's how these games are made. How, like, dude, I can't lift this damn thing up. Why is there still... It's fine. There we go. All right, this section is done. Next, this one. It's like, see it? It's like little bits and pieces everywhere. Little bits and pieces. Got it. Are there nozzles you can buy? Maybe. I don't know. I could check the store. Another one. Sometimes satisfaction is enough to play the games like that. Yeah. It's not a race. You're not trying to beat anybody. You're not trying to be the best at blah, blah, blah. You're just doing it for the enjoyment. To just play the game. I'm going to water the flowers. What the hell? Is it underneath? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Holy shit. Is that all of the flower cart? I think so. It looks like it. Game's really good for my ADHD because it gives me consistent dopamine hits. There you go. All right, so all that is good. Now this. Give. Is one big map. I mean, I haven't played PowerWash Sim in ages, and not to mention, I don't remember what all the other maps are. I only played a little bit, once or like a couple of times. So I remember like the first thing when you get on there and you have to like power wash a car and like that's it. But yeah, this entire map we have to do. I think Rain was saying it took like forever. I only played a few hours, so it's all new to me. Yeah. Hi, Defini. Married to the Muffin Man. I'm going to need to go floor down. The Halloween map is huge. What was the Halloween map? All right. Get this guy. I definitely have learned, though, that if you get enough of one thing, it is forgiving on some parts, but you have to get the majority of it. So, like, the little white parts disappearing. We're almost done. Done. If you get, like, 95%, that's definitely what it feels like. The Muffin Man. Witch's house had tombstones outside. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of the partnerships because like there's so many different things that they could partner with to make different stuff like the Back to the Future things and the Shrek stuff. There's tons of different ideas they could probably get. Let's get this nozzle. Almost. Oh, you're like right there. Oh, Leviosa. What are you possibly there? What the fuck? Blow drying my Newfoundland dog is surprisingly similar to this. Blow drying the dog. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Has he seen the Shrek walk? Excuse me? I've seen the Shrek head. I'm pretty sure I made a clip of that. The "what are you doing in my swamp" death. It was pretty funny. Has to be done from time to time. That's fair. Nailed it. Of all things, Fable. Wait, what? I'm confuzzlement. You need the three-pointed red end. Shoots further and cleans well. The three-pointed red end. Three-pointed. Is that something I could buy? So there's power washers. I haven't even unlocked those guys. This one I have. Which one do I own? Mux Caliber. Hey, what's up, Lacey? What's up, dude? Oh, the nozzle attachment. Oh. I see. Modifications. Equipment. The 3 red end. Hold on, which one? Which one? What are you talking about, Willis? Itching my nose. I think it's not on special maps. Oh, interesting. I wonder why they would limit it like that. Getting ready for the things. Catch y'all later, Davini. Appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. Might not have it yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I don't know which ones are good, which ones are bad. The spinning nozzle seems more useful. Yeah, it seems kind of powerful, but at the same time, like, look at some of these. These are crazy looking. Clean liquid equipment. You unlocked it at the end. Ah, okay. Now, okay, so I own this. This seems significantly better. Will that automatically put that one on? Or I'm confused. Oh no, that was useless money because I can't even use it here because it's a special. The Mux Caliber is just for this map. I understand now. It all makes sense. I think you're stuck. Yeah, just because it fits the theme. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever. Am I crouched? Yeah, it's supposed to be a sword. I'm supposed to be a knight. But I'm Shrek. So it's close enough. That was a grappling hook. Nightly! Thank you for the 30 months. It's a squirting sword. That's correct. That is correct. Thank you, Nightly. How are you? Let's put you here. Let's see. Like, see, that guy, like, that's definitely not the way. I don't even know what that's good for. Because it doesn't do shit. That's for soap. Oh, you fill it with soap. Okay. I'm just like doing like tests now. Gamer fan. Well, I'm sure that soap is meant to clean the area much faster. I can only imagine. I could buy some just for shits and kicks, just to try it out. Sometimes metals with others. Yeah, I guess it just, depending on what cleaning liquid you buy, it can be better or worse, right? What's up, JT? Oh, or not. Look, it's all out of stock. I can't use cleaning liquid here. It won't let me. Night, Juju. It will not let me. Nope. You're just stuck with what you got. Thank you, Emily. Not a big fan of the soap. Mrs. You have to go back. Oh, you have to go back anyway, so there's no point even using soap. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess you just get used to which ones you should be using at which times, right? This city wall is so close to being done. It is a fart away. Look at that. Come on. What do you possibly need done? All the way up there? I'm hitting it from here. I'm hitting it from here. Got it. Candy Mountain, Charlie. You're mine. Going for distance. Going for distance. Got it. Are you gonna get number 2 when it comes out this fall? Wait, what comes out this fall? PowerWash 2? I'm gonna tell my kids this is Shrek. Hi, Jeeves. Oh, there's another PowerWash coming out. Why are they coming out with a second one? Why aren't they just continuing on with this one? So you're selling your cats? Mr. Cheebs. There must be a good reason for why they're doing a new engine. Oh, maybe they have to start from scratch. Yeah, if they're doing a different engine, they have to do it from scratch. That would make sense. Clean the wood. Clean the wood. It's so close. It must be up top, like the top of the winder. Yeah, look at that right there. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, roof doesn't matter. What if I just like do the like this guy, get really close, spray, and all the way down? It didn't work out like I wanted it to. Yeah, we're 33% of the way done. Look at this. Look at this. Other than okay, this tree's pissing me off. We're gonna get this tree. Cheeps. Oh my god. When I was making alerts for today, I found some pretty good ones. Is this a Shrek map? Yes. Yes. Look. Look. Oh, wait. Even better. Hold on. It doesn't do the music, but I'll pretend like it does. Watch. Da, 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 da. Look. It's wonderful. Fantastic. What was I doing? Oh, the tree. See, maybe this is the way with the trees. F getting the ladder out. You just do one of these guys. And then as you get lower, you decrease the power you're using. And then you start scanning it like this. It does exist. Yes. Yes. This DLC is out. Yes, it has been out. Thank you, Emily. Dulacus. Cheebs, just like you had to take a bite of the big chunk of cheese, I did that with an onion. I promised the stream that if we reached my goal, if we doubled the goal today, that I would do the onion. Mayor sent... Great. Thank you, Mayor. I think ahead. God damn it. I was just going to tell him. We don't have to show him. We don't have to show him. Now, PowerWash Sim is a multiplayer game. You can do this with other people. So maybe I'll have to jump back into PowerWash Sim with friends. I'm a visual leaner. A visual leaner. Roger that. Am I still leaking? Yeah, I think so. The paint that I put on my face has been like falling off. Maybe I could get a lot of the way with the yellow. Excited for PowerWash 2. I'm interested to see what it's going to be about. Like, I'm interested to see what they can do in that they can't do in this. back in time. Yes, I am leaking. You heard me. I'll say it again. I am leaketh. Hear me roar. When would you ever use red or yellow when you have the wider range green? Well, like I'm using that right now. Because, okay, so I have the wider range green, right? Give me a tree. All those trees are done. You know what? It doesn't even matter. Here, how about this? I'll use this wall for an example. So here's the wider green, right? You see how that does that? Okay, not bad. But if I do the yellow, look how much more clean it gets that area. So if I do green, okay, if I do yellow, it's a little bit cleaner. Yeah, a little bit cleaner. So especially if I'm at a distance. So if I'm doing green from like this distance, look, I can't even reach that with the yellow. I mean, with the green, I can with the yellow. Oh, Cheebs, look, I drew a house. I forgot to show you. Is there lore to this game? I don't know if I'd say there's lore. The lore is funny? What would the lore be outside of just the map being whatever? Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful house with a bush. I think it's great. You guys say what you want. Nobody's going to believe you. Even the soda cans on, I even went and got one of my Sprites just so that way I can have everything green. I was on brand. I like it. Picasso. Picasso. Panda, thank you for the raid. Hello. Each map has these little sayings that pop up as you finish the map. Sometimes they tell you a story about the map you're cleaning. Oh, really? So like even with these ones that are like DLCs that obviously have their own kind of lore to them already. I'll be lurking, Panda. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Like we've had Farquad sort of jumping in to say stuff every now and then. He's been putting his 2 cents in. Boom, bada, bum, boom, bada, bum. Back to school in the fall for the second bachelor's. Damn. What is your second bachelor's going to be? Second bachelor's degree going to be in? Be entertaining if the ghost was trying to kill you the whole time. Okay. Well, they kind of have games that are like that. There's like haunted house renovator stuff. Art education. Very cool. All right. I think I should clean this area here. I know we have this, but like this whole middle area here, I think I should like almost separate. We're gonna have to get rid of my house. Say bye, house. Bye, house. Miss you. I need to move you. You need to get out of my life. Get out of here, beat it. Who needs you? Leave me alone. Hey, what's up, son? I hear you took a bite. What the hell? Why is that? Who's going around telling people? Yes. So I hear you ate an onion. Well, they have layers. I only sent it to Chiba, Epic, and Glay. God damn it. She's just sending it to everybody. It's like American Pie where they accidentally like leak it to the entire school when they're trying to show them the stuff and the things. Oh man. Oh, okay. I'm good. Little table, you need to also get out of here. Get out of here. Pixar, it didn't happen. Oh, there's enough. There's enough information to be had. I have the literal onion next to me with a bite out of it. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Good looking. Shirt. Oh, the shirt I'm wearing. No, I'm going to basically throw it away when I'm done. The hat's excellent. In the hat, great. It's so on brand for me. When I found it, it was such a lucky find. I don't even remember how I found it. You would have worn the black hat instead. That's what I've done in the past. I usually wear my black hat with the cosplays, but since I found the Shrek one, I was like, this is perfect. This is perfections. All right. All right. I think there's enough separation now. Now we can just start focusing on trying to clean it. To clean it. Oh, our poor sweet house. What did it ever do besides be a wonderful home? Would I be able to get it? We get more spread this way, and it's cleaning pretty good. Good relaxing game. It is. The music's not very relaxing right now. There we have it. Beautiful. This tree's done? Yeah, this tree's done. Yeah, I know you can co-op. Yeah. I think one of the only other times I played this, I think I played with Evie. I think we did the SpongeBob stuff for a little bit. Bro, Shrek, Skibbity. Yeah. Is that clean? Yes. Okay, game. Relax. Does it matter if you miss a spot? Not, you know, when you have a very large area to cover, not really. Because as long as you complete the majority of the area, then you don't even have to finish it. So as long as you get most of it. So if I were to leave like a big chunk like this, like if I left this right here open, I'd probably have to come back. It just depends on the size of the area you're working on. If I'm working on a massive street, then I'm fine, you know, then I can miss a bit. I'll be okay. The Shrek outfit was a jump scare loading into the stream. You're very welcome. Hey Ninja, how's it going? Yeah, when we started stream, freaking StreamerBot was having a hissy. It logged me out of my Twitch account, so no one was able to check in right away. But we fixed it. It was fine. There we go. Now we paint. Reverse paint. Sorry. But yeah, the check-in, yes, it should be there now. You're a quiet one, aren't you? Much like myself. What the hell does he expect me to say? I pride myself on speaking only when absolutely necessary, using the fewest words that is possible to use to articulate my train of thought. Okay. Cool for you, I guess. No more, no less. Got it. Understood. All right, F off, Farquad. Just like the absolute minimum of number of words to get across the brilliance of the idea itself. Yeah, yeah, shut up. Farquad's a narcissist. This is very true. This is very, very true. Really, I could do this and get this edge going around. Maybe like concentrate a little bit more. Get that guy like that. Yeah. He was the perfect voice for Farquad. I would agree. So wonderful. Some of you may die. But that's a risk I'm willing to make. All right. Got the edge. Now we go to the innards. The innards. All of this. The music is very glorious. It's very epic. There we have it. Lovely. You just play this game 24/7. Nice. Someone made a documentary about you. Who would you want to play you in the documentary? It's a great question. John Krasinski. Last time I watched Trek, it was on psychedelics with some friends. Oh my God. I'm sure that was a glorious experience. The guy in the Quiet Place? Yeah. In the Office? Yeah. You know, the one that would always like deadpan at the screen? Oh, he did do Mr. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. He was Mr. Fantastic. And is married to Emily Blunt. This is facts. I think we all have discovered who it is. It's definitely not a quiz, I swear. His lip sync Valentina. Maybe I have. Who was he up against? What did that say? Knights. Ah, I missed it. It's too late. Oh, he was against Anna Kendrick? See, I remember like Tom Holland. I remember his. She did J-Lo. Tom Holland's was crazy. Dude's got a lot of brass. Yes, he did Umbrella. It was so good. With the water, with the raincoat, dude, it was so great. All right, how much is missing on this? Probably just these edges here for the most part. No? Maybe the inside? Oh, I see. The guts, the innards. Maybe. What am I missing? Really? This little spit of an area? I did the inner edge. It's the outside. Yeah, see, it's the outside. It's like it missed like little tiny bits and pieces. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Look at that. We're on the move. Trained dancer, yeah. All I can taste is onion. It's literally it. It won't go away. How do people eat that on the regular? How? How? There we go. Yo, Mr. Cut, thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome in. Most people just don't take bites of raw onion. Okay, that's fair. But I feel like there are people that do. Someone said their daughter does. Which is like supervillain material. Robin, welcome in. Can you eat? I mean, I can eat onions. Like, eating onions is fine. But they're not good. Like, I hate them. They taste awful. 6 foot. Have any ginger ale or? No, I don't. What is this game? PowerWash Sim. PowerWash Simulator. We are right now cleaning up Duloc from Shrek. Okay, this is like. There we go. We are almost halfway cleaned. If I just like mow my way up and down the street like this, I bet we would get really close. Go up and down the street. Look at 46. Like I said, we do this enough. Game on. Looking awesome. Thank you, Fred. Tried to do like a nice take on Shrek, like as me. So the hat with the Shrek ears. Listening, I'm willing to commit for the bit. All right. Is Flash Shrek or Shrek Flash? We'll never know. Why does it seem like I'm missing a big chunk of this sidewalk? Is it the edge? Oh yeah, look how filthy the edge is. Exactly what it was. Kind of want to finish it off though. The essence of Shrek. It sounds like you bottle up, make it a cologne. Essence of Shrek. Nailed it. There she be. These, don't have to worry about that. Forcefully Shrek done. That's right. There's no Flash Farquaad. No. Hint of Shrek. My son would be tickled though. As a former Farquaad, he would be awfully tickled. Mini Flash Squad. My 8-year-old thinks you're all. Thank you, 8-year-old. I appreciate you. You're a gem. You deserve extra candy. You tell mom and dad, hey, the guy on the screen said I get extra candy, so give it. No, it's almost midnight. I don't care. Give it. Game, you're freaking out for no reason, dude. think I'm going to have to get up higher. For some of us, it's after midnight. I mean, yeah, that's true. Every year, the departments at the school where I teach do group costumes. You did Shrek in 2023? Ooh. Who were you? What'd you dress up as? Inquiring minds have to know. Dude who played Farquaad was like one of the tallest in the school. On his knees, the cape. Yeah, see, what's funny is like my son would just played Farquaad, and I told him because he didn't have a cape on his knees. I said, dude, why didn't they put you in one? He said, I don't know. It's like missed opportunity, man. Because he was hilarious with the legs. He was so funny. Puss in Boots. Another ladder, eh? Another ladder, eh? Right now I'm just kind of focusing on the ground. Oh yeah, all those movies are so good. They're so good. Maybe that's what we need to do for our watch party. I want to do like a movie night in the Discord soon. Maybe we just watch Shrek. That's a good time for everybody. That's family fun in every way, shape, or form. All right, so I'm getting the bottom here so that I sort of get like the bottom of the building, but also get the sidewalk. Shrek 2 was good. Why am I Shrek? I am Shrek because it was part of one of my St. Jude milestones last month to dress up as Shrek. And then I said, I promised that if we met the goal completely, that I would not only dress up as Shrek, but I would also do the PowerWash Simulator as Shrek. And here we are. Hey, Psychotic, how are you? So this is the life we live. Oh, sweet. I appreciate you. Always knew Shrek 2 was about half over when my cousin would chime up. Shrek 2 did. You know, Shrek was supposed to be a flop. Oh my God. Did you ever, I remember, do the roar, Squeed, think of the biddies. There was like a video of what Shrek, I don't know if it's real or not, I don't know, but like what Shrek was to be before it looks the way that it does now. I just remember seeing it a long time ago, and it's like a really jank version looking version of it. I've never seen Shrek. Oh, you're missing out on some good jams, dude. Shrek is where it's at. All right, this sidewalk is so close to being finished. Nice. Shrek was punishment for people who didn't do Prince. Wait, what? Wait, it just... Oh, only that part of the sidewalk. Oh. Also, this city road could be done too. You see how faint that is? Shrek is iconic. It is iconic. I think it set a tone for animation and movies, but you don't even realize it. Look under the... Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. All right, so this sidewalk was done, but this one was not, right? Maybe like more of these like little corner. Yeah, there it is. Also the first Disney film to have a curse word. What was the curse word? Oh, ass. Oh, okay. I don't think that's really fair when he was actually talking about the donkey. And Shrek also isn't Disney, right? That'd be cool if it was. Yeah, not Disney. Yeah. I know. There's a lot of animated film, like a lot of industry out there. There's a lot of different companies, which is why it's at Universal. Do they have any big Shrek rides or anything? I feel like it's a missed opportunity if you can't actually go in a swamp. Am I right? Underworld, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you, friendo. Sad live action. Yeah, I know. I know. I'd rather just see some new movies. I'm excited to see that movie with the kid that gets abducted by aliens. That looks like that's going to be a good one. Most Universal rides are cinematic rather than... Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Like a lot of 4D stuff. Yeah. We were talking about Disney rides and different Disney related things and missed opportunities or like things they should have. And I said, one of the things I feel like is a missed opportunity is not having the Encanto house. Like the Encanto house where you can actually walk through it, or a ride that goes, like, come on. Missed opportunity. Underworld, thank you again, friend. Oh, this post is dirty AF. Not post. Speaker. I told my best friend I wanted to take them to Tiana's for 8 years before they actually did it. Oh, you want them to make Tiana's? Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for the combos. The whole place is covered in Shrektoplasm. Ew. All right, I think I might need a ladder now. I mean, I guess I could get the bot. Did I miss you telling the stream about how you liked? Oh, no. I said it just the other day that like live actions are not exactly my jam. I don't know. They're like live actions are fine. I don't find them that great. And Stitch, in my opinion, if you're contemplating whether you should go to the movies and see it, if you just love the idea of going to the movies, then I say go for it. But if you're like, I don't know, though, I might want to save the money. Save the money. Wait for it to stream and then watch it that way. It was good. I just don't think it's that like super crazy good or anything. Original Disney was only, oh, of course. Lesser Diamond, yeah, 1,000,000%. I have so many, I have like most of the animated Disney movies on VHS in my house. I would much rather pop that in and watch it on a tube TV than watch these new ones in the theaters. It's not the Minecraft movie. Who told you? That was a secret. Almost every... Yeah, there's only a couple that were actually enjoyable, to be honest. Like Lion King. What's funny is like, it's called a live action, but the majority of it's CGI. So it's like, well, what the hell is so live action about it? How do you make a live action movie about an animated film and produce most of it in CGI? Like, am I drunk? How do you feel about the new Shrek coming out? When's the new Shrek coming out? It's hard to train lions. That's why you just don't make the movie. You just give up on that one. Hey, you know what? Live action, we can't do that. So we'll just give up. You throw in the towel. You move on. Next year? Really? I think they're doing it in concert right now. Okay. You lie. No, they're not. Are they really? Is there a, have they said that somewhere? Like, have they posted anywhere about it? get this sign done. This tavern awning. Come on, Finch. Finch, you bastard, Finch. I said Finch. Be done. Listed as December 23rd of 2026. Holy hell. That's in a couple minutes. My word. Lion King will always be your number one. I love the original Lion King. I love it. It's not my number one. 2-3 minutes tops. 2-3 minutes tops. Jungle Book. Jungle Book was good. The Encanto ride is replacing Dino Land in Disney Animal Kingdom. What the hell is Dino Land? Is this at Disney? Is this at Disneyland? Dino Land? What the hell is Dino Land? Oh, in Animal Kingdom. Oh, maybe that's why it's not ringing a bell for me. I've been to Animal Kingdom maybe twice in my life. The dino part they took out. Okay. Yeah, I've been there like twice in my life. Well, that'd be cool. That's interesting they're putting it in Animal Kingdom though. Like Encanto. Why Animal Kingdom? The dino part was there. Was where the kids were playing. Oh, okay. You know entirely too much about Disney? Hey, you listen, if you want to spit Disney facts anytime, please feel free. I'm listening. I'm all ears. Been to Disney never? I don't really want to. It's extremely, listen, it's obviously expensive. It is obviously expensive. I love it. I love it. If it's ever something that would put you out and put you in a bad position to go, there's ways of going without needing to spend everything you have in the bank. There's ways of going. There is definitely ways of going. Like not going and staying at one of the deluxe resorts and staying somewhere else outside of Disney and then going in to the park on the day of is so much cheaper. But it's you asking yourself, do I want to save money or do I want the convenience? Because if you're going to Disney, you're probably not going there to save money. Yeah. What was the last hand-drawn animated Disney movie released? Oh shit, I don't know. The last hand-drawn? Oh God. I mean, was it around like how long after Pocahontas? All the videos of Disney facts and animatronics malfunction is dude, it's crazy. You ever see the video about the long lost android that was in the top of Space Mountain? You ever seen that video? I stayed at Budget Disney. It was like $150 a night. Right. You wanted to go, but you didn't want to spend thousands, so you make it work. Yeah. Was it with the poo? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. There's definitely ways of making the drawings look hand-drawn, so I wouldn't know unless I actually looked it up. I would literally have to look it up. Or you go to Japan Disney, $60 to enter. Oh, I would love to go to the other Disneys like around the world. That'd be super cool. Paris, Japan. Shit, even Hawaii has like a Disney resort. Pocahontas was a blend between CGI and hand painted. Really? That was part CGI? Damn. This isn't clean, is it? Fuck, I gotta get that up there. Want to go to Aulani so bad? Yeah. Can I place you here? Really? 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 All this shit that... Is that ladder in the way? Hold on. Unless I'm supposed, like, maybe I'm supposed to do it like this. Only ever been to the Paris one, but knowing Japan is cheap, next big trip, that'd be cool. Super cool. It said Winnie the Pooh in 2011. Oh, I think you're being fact checked. Your son's favorite ride? I've never been on the Avatar rides. No, when I went, the last time I went to Animal Kingdom, they were actually in the midst of making the Avatar stuff. So like I saw construction of them doing the floating mountains. But I just, when we've gone back to Disney a couple times, we've skipped Animal Kingdom just because there's been more to do at the other places. Oh, right on the point of it. Cost $7K for Disneyland vacation. Could have got to Japan for half that. The food in the park is 1/10 the price. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's just, you don't go to Disney to save money. You know what I'd love to listen to? One thing I really enjoy to listen to, which is like, I don't know if it's stupid or not, I just enjoy it, is there's a playlist on here called, that's not what it's called, Apocrypha. Thank you for the subs, friend. There's a playlist called Walt, it's WDW Resort TV. And it is just so chill. And it is just so relaxing. And I love it. And I absolutely love it. If you love listening to Disney stuff randomly, I would highly suggest you listen to that playlist. Where it plays what the resorts play? Yes. Yes. I've talked about it before, that there's a YouTube channel that plays that, the same sort of thing, just actual like visual on TV. And we'll put that on for dinner sometimes. The Kinetic game we were talking about, they made it for Steam and it was like, oh, it's like $6 right now. Oh, the one where you go around Disneyland. I wish they would have made one for Disney World. That makes me a little sad. I kind of wish that there was a Disney World walkabout game. There was, somebody did make a Minecraft Walt Disney World, and you legit, like, I think I posted about it in Discord once. You would actually go to a website that would sync up with your in-game player. And then when you got to certain parts of the park in Minecraft, it would play the music you hear at the park. And you could actually get on rides and it would play the audio from the rides for like Space Mountain and for Haunted Mansion and for freaking Pirates. I'm talking everything. It's like, it's not super high res crazy stuff because it's Minecraft, but it was still really cool. And it took them forever to make, obviously. Danger, thank you for the 15 months. But it's really cool. I don't even know how the hell I found it. The fact that they could do the audio syncing was nuts. So it synced with you. And they didn't just do Disney. They did Universal too. Have I built a lightsaber? I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. My family, my kids are not huge Star Wars kids. They really don't care that much. Is this game a satisfying? I would say this game is a satisfying, yes. Oh, the wall's so close. It's so close. What are we missing? The smell in Disney is artificial. They actually use it as a sales tag. Oh, probably. Oh yeah, pumping smells into a room. It's sort of, it's the same idea behind when you would go to Nike. When you go to Nike, the smell that you smell when you go to Nike is obviously artificially made. But it's made for a reason because Nike hired somebody to make a scent that would be theirs. And so like it's a crazy science. I heard a podcast talking about that stuff. Simon Sinek had somebody on talking about when they create fragrances for companies. They have little fans to blow the smells around to make you want it. It's those damn Mickey waffles. It's those goddamn Mickey waffles. Well, I think when they say artificial, it's just like perfume, cologne. Those are artificial. Biania, thank you so much for being here. Have a good one, friend. You know, 70% of the particles in the air are dead skin. Did you know you eat 8.5 spiders a year? I don't know if that's true or not. But it's definitely worth a Google, if you ask me. That poor half spider. Well, I mean, think about it. You chomp down in the middle of the night, deuces. I mean, if we want to start playing the facts game, I don't think you want to know some of the facts that I know. I think there's some facts that you're not going to want to hear me say. Oh, I made it. Holy shit. Ads are playing in 1 minute, friends. By the way, just a heads up. I could probably be a little bit... Wait, I could actually probably do the extension. Down for random facts. I have so many funny things to tell my cast member friends. Phoenix is going to be like, there are people that believe... Do you guys know that there's pus in milk? Just think about that the next time you have a nice big bowl of cereal. Hey, CJ. You don't drink milk? There you go. Yeah, there's pus in milk. There are somatic cells, and they're legally allowed to have so much inside of milk. So when you're drinking milk, you're drinking pus. You know what the best part is? I remember when I was in college, I did that as a public speaking thing, and it was called Got Pus. That was the name of my speech. I gave that speech. That morning, I had a big old bowl of cereal because I don't give a shit. That's like when people try to tell you, you know what's in a hot dog? I don't care. I really don't care. Oh, god dang it. But when I want one, they're great and delish. What am I? Is it the top of this stupid thing? Hey, Sassy. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Ads are going to be playing, friends. Just be prepared. Lucky for you, you're lactose intolerant. Ayo. Look at how much is left, dude. That whole half. We haven't touched shit. Sure do. Won't stop me. Sounds delicious. Hey, General Gravy. Excited about PowerWash 2. Honestly, I didn't even know PowerWash 2 was a thing until someone came in earlier and said something. Okay, loudspeaker poll. You're messing up my life. That's my life. Why are you like this? What am I missing? I don't see a highlight. Is it on this side? Oh, F you. Game's fun and amazing. I'm just very curious to see what they do with a second one. I don't know what they're going to possibly do. Tinley, thank you so much for being here, friend. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. It's supposed to do a bunch of quality of life changes. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. That's nothing. That's nothing. Flower box. Oh, the bottom is all kinds of dirty. Get it? I'm so close. Wait, I got it. Except there's something up there I didn't get. I saw the sliver. It's that. Pictures for my super secret. Oh, Phoenix. Yes, please. Yes, please. I would very much so enjoy seeing secret photos. I played Fast and Wild. Is there anything new? There's an update happening this month on the 24th. Boneless pizza! Do the roar. Thank you so much for the subs. Dude, my nose, it's just all day, man. I might, at this point, with how late it is, I might as well just itch it. If the green comes off, it comes off. Oh my God. It's so itchy. It's so itchy. Oh, okay. We're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Got it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's go over here. Shrek becomes human in Shrek 2. Nah, we can't. I guess the closest I can get is that. Unless that ladder is really effing me up. Can I drop you? How do I drop you? Or just have to place you somewhere else now? Let's go place you over here. Hey, what up, Ketchup? All right, now will you fit? Oh, come on. It won't sit anywhere over here. What's in the way? There's nothing. What do you mean? It's even on level ground. Oh, come on. Oh, what the shit? But that works? Okay. Take advantage of that. That'll do, pig. That'll do. There we go. Easy breezy. Guys, friendly reminder that this Friday, I'm going to be joining Moon Bunny and friends for some repo. I might be late to stream. I do not know how long the recital is going to take. Our kiddos have recital all weekend long. More shows. It's always something new. Told her, by the way. Oh, what'd you tell Moon Phoenix? You've played Repo? Oh yeah, I've played before. Yeah, Repo's lots of fun. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I let her know just to be safe, because I don't want her to be like, you know, yelling at me and being mad at me and, you know, doing murder bunny things. But it all depends on how late they're going to be. Oh, in case I forgot. Oh, thank you. Can I do it over here instead? No? Is that just a no-go? Hey, there we go. Do you have a favorite Disney song? Oh, that's hard to say. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I have one particular song that, you know what? I should get down here first. I don't know if I have one particular song that's like my favorite of all of them. I love many of them. We don't talk about Bruno. That's good. There's so many good soundtracks. It's literally endless. And Kanto's definitely one of my favorite all around. It's one of my favorite all around soundtracks. Every song in that movie hits. Do I stream daily? No. No, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. No, I have a full-time job. I am a professional video editor and cinematographer. Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Hercules, Tarzan. I was just showing the kids Treasure Planet not that long ago. They were not as interested as I was. You watched it today? Oh, it's so good. Lin-Manuel Miranda is just... He is a different kind of beast. There's a reason that Moana... There's a reason the music for Moana was way better than the music for Moana 2. It's because he wasn't involved in Moana 2. That's why. It just didn't feel right. It felt off. It's not memorable. But like Mary Poppins, all the music for the Return of Mary Poppins was wonderful. It was so good. Haven't seen it yet. It's still worth a watch. I would absolutely recommend seeing it. But it's meh. It's meh. But Mary Poppins, my daughter was obsessed with Mary Poppins. When we went to Disney with them, she found a Mary Poppins in the wild. She was literally the last person to get to say hi to them because they were about to leave. And it was just in her Mary Poppins phase. Oh, Hamilton was wonderful. It's probably my favorite musical I've ever seen. Did you see them bring the original cast back? Had a different agenda. Yeah, kind of. Washing the ghost away or something? Well, someone's got to do it. My youngest and your youngest like the same thing. Like the same things usually. I guess they go in the same phases. Come on, the roof is like right there. Would you? I'm gonna power wash the shit out of this stuff. Oh, come on, it's like a fart away. What am I missing on the roof? Is it up here? Oh, to finish the sign. I got you. There we go. Finally. Hot diggity dog. This one's also very close. Maybe it's on this side. It's on the peak. No? What am I missing? Underneath? Undercarriage? Oh. There we go. Nice. All right, that's done. That's done. This other wall's not. That is. Okay. You haven't done the SpongeBob DLC? I do remember doing part of it because I remember jumping into a game with Evie. What are we missing? Flower box. Underneath? There it is. Yahtzee. All this is done. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hold on. What's I just scroll past that look like? Souvenir shop wall. Forge lower wall. What? Was it seeing shit over there? Oh, it had to be. Okay. There we go. Eee. Tavern lower wall. It's these little crevices, damn it. Like, look. This wall. Where? Oh. Little fart on the corner. This? Yep. This door. Got it. Got a sniff for the dirt. Seriously, dude. Look. Other side. Would you start getting the hang of it, though? Made the chicken plays. I never watched Phineas and Ferb. I think my kids have actually seen that more than I have. Oh my god, it's all so dirty. It's all so dirty. Pay attention to what time it is. Ta, 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 ta. Great show, great music. I think the music was all done by a band. Wait, what show are you talking about, Jen? My kids' favorite Disney movies have changed over time. It never stays the same. 1 minute, like my son is obsessed with Monsters Inc. And then the next minute, if they could choose any movie at all, they would choose Toy Story 4. Or yeah, it changed. It never stays the same. And to be honest with you, I might be in the same boat as them. I mean, Toy Story is forever my favorite. But when it comes to like which ones I'm really loving, it's a mood. There's so many that you don't have to just be like this one. Which is great, and that's why I love it. Ah, this is not a great angle for the dangle. Is it possible to turn you? Like that? Put a little further back? Yahtzee. Iron Giant. Oh, that's a good one. Haven't seen that in forever either. My favorite Disney movie has been the same since I was 4, and I have no idea why it's so special. Lion King. Lion King is the first movie that I ever saw in movie theaters. First one ever for me. I remember seeing it in theaters. I remember coming home and talking about it. Wreck-It Ralph. Oh, we were just watching that. That's such a good movie. Black Cauldron. Oh my God, Luca. I've got that on VHS. I got it. It's like a long lost movie. Not a lot of people talk about that one. Okay. This upper wall is missing stuff and things. But where? It's not over here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this. Where? Oh, I see it. It might be underneath. Hadouken. There she blows. Come on, Finch. Finch, damn it, Finch. Nailed it. Pinocchio? Oh, Pinocchio's a jam. Beauty and the Beast. Moana's great. That's such a great movie. So Lion King in the theater, I think it scared me for a lot. Oh man, I remember bawling during that scene. Roger Rabbit. That's one crazy ass movie. Ass movie. Yes. Wild AF. It was funny. It was crazy. Like, talk about some weird acid trip. Like, listen, we know you were Doc in Back to the Future, but we had an idea. That was after he had done a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's probably the top of the sign. Never mind. Hi, Taco. Dumbo's an acid trip. Yeah. You guys, did anybody here watch the first Mario movie? Like the live action Mario movie? Anybody remember that? Talk about some crazy shit. The Goombas and like Koopa? That's a wild movie. It's the same guy that was in Roger Rabbit. Watched it recently? Oh man, it's good. It is good though. The 1980s. Yeah, it had to either been 80s or 90s. One or the other. Get the undercarriage. Gotta get the undercarriage. I think we could use this widespread for this part. Winnie the Pooh movie with the pink elephants was an acid trip. I think everybody was just on drugs. What the hell? John. Yeah, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, he was Luigi. Yeah. He was also, what's his name in Spawn? The crazy looking chunky guy. Clown, yeah. So many crazy movies. Oh man, there was another crazy movie. Hold on, where's my phone? Oh, it's in Discord. Actually, wait. It's I posted about it in the sub chat. I think I posted about it in the sub chat, didn't I? As a potential movie night movie. There's a movie called Freaked. If you've never seen it before, I highly suggest that you look at the trailer. Watch the trailer because I'm dead serious that we might watch that. It has been a very, very long time since I've seen it. But the lead actor in it is the guy that played in Bill and Ted with Keanu Reeves. Never seen it? Oh man. It's good. It's really it has like it's got like a horror, it's not horror, it's like humor. It's like humor, but it has like a horror feel to it because of like the way these people look. Itch to watch Sinners. I want to see it. My wife is excited to see it too. She said she's actually excited to watch it. I was like, well, then we need to watch it. Drop Dead Fred. That movie was before its time. It's the mega bitch. Dude, I remember being a kid. The scene when he slides, like when he like wiggles under the one girl or the one woman and good points. Look, cobwebs. Drop Dead Fred. What's your mom's favorite? Yeah, he was like, he was creeping around on the floor and he like crawled under, he was right underneath some woman that was wearing a skirt and they couldn't see him because he's imaginary. But yeah, he just looks up and goes, look, cobwebs. What's the movie with David Bowie in it? He was in a couple films. But Labyrinth is probably the most famous. Yeah. He's been in a couple. That's your favorite? Labyrinth? Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Oh, hello. I suppose you may be wondering why I didn't go to rescue my betrothed personally. No, I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. We're busy talking about movies. I would have, of course, had I not scheduled the quest to commence on the same day as my official crown fitting. What a jerk. Watched it recently with the youngest. Oh, Labyrinth? I tried watching it recently and I was like, what the heck? There's a lot of movies out there that when you watch it right now, you say, what the hell? Yeah. What the hell were they thinking? How did this pass any sort of standards? Happens often. Cat in the Hat live action movie, the blue. Oh my God. There is a, okay. It's so inappropriate. There is a Cat in the Hat clip that somebody made, that that I died the first time I saw it. It was like, it was the Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, but they edited this clip to make it look like he's dropping something else on the table, and it's blurred. I don't know how to even direct you to seeing that, but it's really funny. Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids. Little Monsters. Oh my God. With Fred Savage and Howie. That movie I watched a lot as a kid. I remember watching Little Monsters a lot. Just thinking how cool and crazy it was. Spaceballs, love it. When I was a kid, I remember we lost. We didn't lose. I forget what happened. Something happened to our. We had it on a cassette, so like the sleeve, something was wrong with it. So like I recreated it from scratch with some paper, a stapler, and then I drew the box. Man, I wish I had that. Small Soldiers, another really good one. All these old movies, dude, listen. Listen. Nostalgia is my heart. You know what I just found that I just got that I'm waiting to arrive? A couple of Goosebumps VHS clamshells. To think one of the Goonies is Thanos. Oh, Josh. I got pretty high up there. Almost enough. So that window is good. Just need to move this guy, I think. Can I move you like that? Yes, I can. Yahtzee. Wife was so mad about Cat in the Hat that she forbid. What the fuck? Any more live action movies, the adult humor was too much. As long as it's subtle, I think it's fine. Like there's things in movies that you just don't think about as a kid and it just doesn't register to you until later in life. Like in Back to the Future when Doc was up on top of the ladder on the pole and he's tying the thing and the cop comes by and he tells the cop that it's weather equipment. It's really sensitive. Don't touch it. And the cop says, "Do you have a permit for that?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I got a permit." And as he's coming back down, he pulls his wallet out to bribe the cop. As a kid, I had no idea that he was bribing the cop. The Trolls movie was insane. The Trolls movie is crazy. Oh my God. Shrek has a lot of prime example compensating for something. Yeah. Yep. Hi, Sunflower. How are you? You know what I should probably do? I should probably do this. One scene that went over my head as a kid was in Ghostbusters when Ray had a dream of a ghost. Yep. Just as a kid, you really don't think about that stuff. Why is that ghost hurting him? We need a 90s Nickelodeon movie. Which one? Good Burger will forever be one of my favorites. Will forever be one of my favorites. Kench, oh, Kench, please have good sleep, friend. All of them combined. Wait, what? Little Shop of Horrors? Amazing movie. You know, I have so much respect for him for dropping out of movies to help take care of his family. But man, it makes you wonder what he could have accomplished if he didn't do that. Because he was so amazing. My kids know who loves orange soda and how to reply. Good. You're teaching them right. You're teaching them right. My kids have been watching What did they watch recently? They're watching Thundermans right now, which is not, I don't count that. But they were watching, gosh darn it, what were they watching? I forget. They were watching an old show. I was proud of them. You watched it off Broadway? Nice. Rugrats, Alvin Monsters, Rocky Power, Ren and Stimpy, etc. Just as a neighborhood telling ghost stories. Wait, what? Just as a neighborhood telling ghost stories. Oh, I did get a couple new shirts. Oh, I can't wait to wear them on stream. I got a couple new shirts. One of them is Ren and Stimpy. It's log. It's log. All right, I think most of this is done. I told an older lady about Team America. Oh, what the fuck? It was puppets, but not for kids. She was trying to rent it for a 9-year-old. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you not tell them how inappropriate it is? America. Trying to rent it for a 9-year-old. What the? Powdered Toast Man, Ren and Stimpy was the favorite. Cat Dog was one of my favorites. Hey Arnold's my favorite 90s Nickelodeon cartoon of all time. But Cat Dog was also another one of my jams. Any of Robin Williams movies? Oh yeah, I've got Flubber. I've got, what else do I have? Jumanji. I'm trying to think what I have on VHS. I have a few of them. Right, thank you so much. I don't think we'll be going for much longer either, friend, to be honest with you. It is midnight for me, and I have to spend time taking all this off my face. Yeah. How far did we get, though? Let's take a look at what we've done. Let's get out of here. Let's go over here. Because this looks like we haven't done shit. But this... Look at that. Night and freaking day, dude. 60%, and that's pretty spot on too. You look at this side, and then you come back over here. Mrs. Doubtfire, amazing. 90s Adam Sandler. Listen, I liked some of them, but definitely not all of them. Although Billy Madison and some of that is just priceless. Absolutely priceless. All right, save. Yes, please. Is it saved now? I assume it is. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Back to school. Back to school. Apocrypha, how could you do this to me? So when's the next Shrek stream? You shut your face. Apocrypha? Hi, Moon. Oh, no. No, hold on. Before I... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tornado is... Oh, damn. You're green with envy. I just really hate your face sometimes, you know? It's just your face. I don't like it sometimes. I'm so excited to play games with you on Friday, Moon. I sure hope that you live the whole time. Oh my God. Watch a lot on YouTube. I appreciate you. What a day to be here. He'll push you down a hole. Pretend. Don't you dare. That was the most accident of accidents that could have ever been an accident. Okay. It made for a really great clip though. And I'll bring an onion. You shut your face. Oh my God. I hate you. All right. Where is it? I want to show you the other alerts that I made as just in case. Mama didn't rate no quitter. That's right. Let's see here. I told you I came prepared, so I made some for like crazy things just in case. You'll be able to see a little better if I go here and do it because it's just a black screen. So there is, I'll play each of the alerts one time through. Variations. Okay. I'll even pause the music. So this was for 100. I'll have it soft. Your eyes still look watery. Of course they are. What do you mean? They look, they are. This was 5. ChatGPT made that again. That the donkey with the waffles, because one doesn't exist. Here's 1,000. And I don't even remember what the hell this is. So there's that. Let's go to the sub side. Which Shrek is my favorite first? The first will forever be my favorite. This was for donos. Oh God. Oh God. I'll just emulate it. Here. See? We've included a little bit of everything. And then for the subs, this was... Hold on. Wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. This was for... this was just for the standard one you've seen. We're just going through all of them once. Okay. This was 5. Very delayed. Maybe. Do I need a refresh? You just can't replace 1 for me. You can't do it. Even though some of that's from 2. And this was the one for 50. Hold on, wait. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. I need to go back to the other side. Go over here. Go to that. I have like a bunch of different... It has layers. It has layers. The 20 is just... It's such a bop. It was too good. This was 50. And then... I don't know why that's on... Why that's holding on the screen like that. There we go. That one was from 3, right? At the birthday party? I think so. Yeah, and then this was the 100 one. This is psychotic. Absolutely psychotic. There you go. That was the alerts. Oh, this needs to come back at some point. Listen, maybe someday. Let me get rid of that screen. Leave. You have a little bit too much fun. You have to have fun with it, because if you don't have fun with it, It's just pure unadulterated pain. You know what I mean? So about that, I still have drink left. I'm so covered in green. My room just stinks of onion. I hate it. With the quiet chill music, I know. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. The onioning part 2. Righty, stop showing up for this. Stop, please. God damn it. Is there more pumped up music? This is relaxing beauty. Tell people to stop telling me. No, it's fine. Yay. And you have to listen to every effing crunch of this stupid thing. It's a spicy turnip. No, it's fucking awful. Ready? It like burns. Who does that for enjoyment? This, I'm not sweating. I think I caked it on too much. And the problem is that it's just like, well, now my eyes are watering. I think I got onion in my eye. I think I got onion in my eye. Ugh. Now I don't care if it comes off. Oh my God. It tastes like shit. That's awful. That's awful. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is Shrek's meal. Sprite Zero and onions. Nothing better. Nothing better. I need more. I need more. Oh my God. Fucking awful. Oh, you either love it or hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. That tastes awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, I'm sure that... No, it's bad. Anyway, you slice it. Literally. I'm going to sleep like a baby. All right. Can we go raid now, please? My eyes hurt. Hold on. I'm going to try to see the screen. Give me a second. It's a little hard to see what's going on. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not leaking into my eyes. like right back into my eyes. Oh. Sleep like a baby, crying, pooping. Where's my mommy? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm glad we were able to do this. You know, this stupid stuff. It's while it might be painful in the moment, it's, you know, you look at the other end of it and it's pretty funny. Dwight after I don't remember what he was saying when he was talking to the guy. I know what you're talking about when Dwight pepper sprayed. Oh damn it. He was saving Jim. I can't remember what's his name. Oh my god. Roy, yes. Yes, Pam's ex-fiance. Yes. Yeah, that's a good shout. He's just Pam, call security. Do a final 360. You get out of here. There is no 360 to be had. It's literally like I was trying to avoid the skin. I was trying to keep the immersion. Although I've wiped. You see that it's like coming off my face though, which means that it's probably not that hard to remove. Like if I do one of these, like that's nice that I can just remove it that easily. But that also explains why it's getting on me. Just joined. Why are you Shrek? Why are you not Shrek? You ever thought about that? It's Thursday at almost 12:30 in the morning, and you're not dressed as Shrek. Who's the weird one here? Oh, this shirt's destroyed. Which I'm not wearing this ever again. I'm not wearing this ever again. It's like it was too small. Have you saved Fiona? Yeah, she's upstairs sleeping. Calm down there, yo. How dare you? Just called me Yoshi. You son of a bitch. It'll wash out. I'm not going to wear this again. I can trash it. Okay. Okay. I have so much washing to do. Okay. Let's go find somewhere to go so I can take this shit off my face. You look great. Thank you, Sarah. The post-stream shower is going to be amazing. I know. Hopefully I don't wake my wife. Because she's trying to get as much slumbers as she can. We're like a week. We're like a week away, basically, from baby time. Like a week away. Shrek will return. You should wear the hat again. No, this is just for Shrek. We do. I even if we don't, like, you see this though. Like you saw how easily I went like this, and that came off. So I imagine that it will just wash right off. Cool to see you in Dave chat. Yo, I love getting the chance to hang out with friendos. I lurk a lot. There's a lot of times where I'm lurking because I'm working on something and I don't want to, I don't know. I'm just a lurker. But I'm always around. Should wash right off. I think it will. I mean, if it did that, it should just come directly off. Yeah. Luckily, it's not staining the skin. No, it was made for skin. Yeah, we should raid. Let's go to think, then speak. Roger that. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Why the gym camera fourth wall break? You get out of here. Hope it cleans off the headphones and glasses nicely. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. God damn it. Well, we're almost, I mean, I say almost. We're getting damn near close to hitting the monthly goal already. Nessa, thank you so much. No, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, friendo. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, what? What? And that actually updates now, which is so great. I'm so glad I figured out how to do that. So now the sub goal command actually works. Oh, thank you for the follow, Righty. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Imagine. No, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. No. Don't apologize to me. No. I know you're being bullied because it's Vin and it's Mayor. Of course you're being bullied. you're being bullied because they care. If that will make you feel better and sleep at night, then just tell yourself that. Sleep tight, my green prince. That's a different kind of game, isn't it? We've known Righty for too long to not care. See, look. See, look. All right. Well, what do you guys say we go? Speaking of better out than in, they always say. What do you guys say we go give Break a visit? Can we send you to bed now? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we need to. We need to. I'm very caught up on my work at like my editing and all that jazz, but still. Yeah. So Friday we'll be doing repo. So it's going to be another day of no Faz. So it's nice just to take the little breaks. The little breaks are nice. Shower then straight to bed, mister. The old, that's right. I was kind of waiting for her to be inside of the house so you guys could break wind if you feel like it. Here's some raid messages, friends. If you're a follower, the first one's for you. If you're a sub, that's for you. Creepy tier 3, that's for you. Please brush your teeth as well for Mrs. Flash's sake. I always brush my teeth. How dare you? Listen, what is this? I always do. How dare you? I will wash them like 5 times so I don't have going to bed smelling like an onion, like a damn onion. No, thank you guys so much. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I'm excited for Repo too, because I haven't played Repo in a while either. So it's another game that's fun to play and will feel fresh. She's gonna smell it on you anyway. I know, because she's got the pregnancy brain. She's got the pregnancy sense. She probably smells it already. I should probably sleep downstairs. I probably shouldn't sleep up there. Supersonic smells, and she's got them, dude. She does. We're like outside on the deck, and she's like, "Did Joe shit in the dining room?" And you go in there, there's shit on the floor. Like, Joe, could be sweating onions. Ugh. All right. With this nice, chill, glorious music. This was a nice, different pace with music as well. I enjoyed that. I would love to find more playlists that I could actually play on stream. It's just I'm always worried about copyright stuff. This, I probably should have been worried because I'm sure this is not copyright free, but we just went for it anyway. Smell of onion sweat for a day or two. Ew, onion sweat. Yeah. She's crazy, dude. Yeah. She's nuts. All right. Make sure you got your raid messages if you want to copy one. If not, then just be prepared to play some blurp noises her way. Preferably ones that have flatulence, if you don't mind. She's very fond of it. She just says all, man, I just wish people would play more fart blurbs. I'm like, I know. It's crazy. So, highly recommend. Highly, highly, highly recommend. But yeah, there's the sub one again. Guys, thank you so much. If you're a new sub, welcome. I appreciate you. If you're in the Discord, make sure that you have your Twitch linked to Discord. So that way you will get the sub roll, and then you will get the channels that are in there that are just for subs. And I give voting in there occasionally. I'm going to start doing sub movie nights soon. We just have to pick a movie and pick a night, all the things and all the stuff. So guys, thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. Thanks for the onions. Get Shrek'd on.